Hey, before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe. You don't want to miss this story. I remember the day like it was yesterday. The air in our apartment was thick with the smell of burnt toast and coffee that had gone cold hours ago. I was leaning against the counter, staring at my phone, trying to summon the courage to ask her, "Hey, so, what do you want for your birthday?" I typed, fingers hovering nervously over the keyboard. Her reply came almost instantly. 3 words that made my chest sink. Disappear. Forever. I blinked. I stared at the message so long I could almost hear the room spinning around me. It wasn't angry, not sarcastic, not even bitter. It was empty. Hollow. I should have laughed it off. I should have asked if she was joking. But something in her tone, even through a text, told me she wasn't. Her name was Lily. Bright smile, quick laugh, and a mind that always seemed a step ahead of mine. She had this habit of leaving her coffee cups in random corners of the apartment, of writing little notes to herself and sticking them on the fridge. I'd read them in the mornings, small reminders about groceries, about dreams, about life. And for months, I thought I was part of her story. But lately, things had changed. She stopped leaving notes. She didn't smile when I walked into the room. Texts went unanswered for hours. When we sat together, there was a distance I couldn't cross, no matter how close we physically were. Her eyes looked at me, but not at me. I tried calling her after that message. No answer. I left a voicemail, my voice shaking. "Hey, if this is a joke, call me. Please." Nothing. I sat there, phone in hand, watching the screen light up her name, wondering what had gone wrong, what I had missed. Something was breaking between us, something I couldn't yet name. And then I realized maybe she had been planning this for a long time. I didn't know if I was about to lose her, or if I already had. But what happened next would change everything that I tried to convince myself it was just a rough patch. I kept telling my friends, she'll come around. She always does. But deep down I knew that emptiness in her texts, that distance in her eyes, it wasn't temporary. A week passed. I didn't hear a word from her. Not a text, not a call, nothing. My apartment felt hollow, even though it was the same furniture, the same coffee mug scattered on the counter, the same faint smell of lavender she always wore. It was the same world, but somehow it wasn't. Then, one evening, my phone buzzed. I almost dropped it when I saw her name. My heart surged with hope. Maybe she had a reason. Maybe she just needed space. The text read, "Meet me at the pier, 9 p.m., alone." I didn't hesitate. I ran, slipping on my sneakers, grabbing my jacket, heart pounding so loud I could hear it over the city noise. When I arrived, the pier was empty, fog rolling in over the water, swallowing the lights of the distant Ferris wheel. I saw her silhouette at the edge, hands in her pockets, hair sticking to her face in the mist. "Lily," I breathed. She didn't turn immediately. When she finally faced me, her eyes were storm clouds, dark, unreadable, full of something I wasn't allowed to touch anymore. "I can't do this anymore," she said, voice low but steady. "Us, this whatever we have, it's over." I shook my head, stepping closer. "What are you talking about? Why? We can fix it." She laughed, but it wasn't her laugh. It was brittle, dry. "Fix it? You don't see, do you? I've been gone for months, even when I was here. I've been living a life that doesn't include you." My stomach dropped. My hands trembled. "What are you saying?" She pulled out her phone. I froze. She showed me a thread, a string of messages with someone else. Someone she had been seeing, meeting secretly, smiling at over coffee shops I didn't know about. Every word, every plan, every laugh, it wasn't mine. "I wanted to tell you before my birthday," she whispered, "but I knew I couldn't. I can't stay. I need to disappear. Forever." I felt the world shift beneath my feet. Everything we built, every promise, every quiet Sunday morning vanished. I opened my mouth, but nothing came. My chest ached. My throat burned. She didn't wait for me to respond. She turned, walking into the fog, leaving me at the edge of the pier, watching her silhouette fade. I was alone. Completely. And I realized some disappearances aren't about leaving. They're about being left. I didn't chase her. Not because I didn't want to, but because something inside me finally snapped into place. I stood there at the pier long after she disappeared. Fog soaking into my clothes, waves slapping the wood beneath my feet like a slow countdown. Every memory replayed itself without permission. Her laugh on our first date, the way she used to fall asleep on my chest, the promises whispered during quiet nights that now felt borrowed from another lifetime. When I went back to the apartment, it didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like a museum of a relationship that only one of us had been living in. I packed slowly, methodically. I didn't take much, just clothes, my laptop, and the photo of us from before everything went wrong. I left the rest exactly where it was, including the notes on the fridge she never bothered to remove. On her birthday morning, I sent one last message. You asked me to disappear. I finally understood. Then I blocked her, not out of spite, out of survival. Weeks passed, then months. The silence was brutal at first. I'd reach for my phone instinctively, only to remember there was no one waiting on the other side anymore. But something strange happened in that silence. I started sleeping better, breathing easier. I stopped replaying conversations, stopped wondering what I could have done differently. One evening, while walking past a cafe, I saw her, sitting at a window table, laughing, with him. And here's the thing, I didn't feel rage. I didn't feel jealousy. I felt clarity. She didn't lose me because I wasn't enough. She lost me because she wanted something easy, something new, something that didn't require honesty or patience. I realized disappearing wasn't weakness. It was boundaries. It was self-respect. Some people don't want love. They want escape. And when they finally get it, they call it freedom. If this story hit close to home, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe. You're not alone in this.